You are listening to the Rural and Resources Report, and the Marda Gold Project near Southern Cross finally has some new owners. After declaring insolvency in 2015, Black Oak Minerals handed over the reins to administrators KordaMentha, who this week announced they had successfully sold the project to Ramelius Resources for $13 million. It's potentially the first transaction of its kind under the Corporations Act in Australia, and KordaMentha's Richard Tucker says it's been a positive outcome for all involved.
There was a number of complexities associated with the sale, in particular around third parties' contractual rights. A number of parties lodged plaints against the assets, and there was a need to sell certain other assets which would result in those plaints being removed so that there was a clear pathway to realise the Marda Gold Project, which was the jewel in the crown of the Black Oak Minerals mining assets. It has now been sold to Ramelius Resources, which is an ASX-listed company which has a very strong financial position and is looking to take that asset into production in the near term.
And it's a geographical area that Ramelius is very familiar with. I understand sold for around $13 million, but there was quite a bit of interest in the project.
That's right. Throughout the process, there were approximately 70 inquiries, 14 indicative offers were received, and those ranged from $4.5 million up to $14 million. In assessing what was the best pathway forward, we needed to consider not only the quantum of funds, but also the execution risk, and with Ramelius and its current financial position, but also the pathway to execution, which was a relatively unique process from an Australian restructuring perspective, allowed us to reduce execution risk and allow them through that process to commence production as soon as they're ready to go.
So as the Aussie dollar gold price heads towards that $1,900 an ounce mark, I mean, are you expecting to see more or less of these projects which will end up in your hands?
Yeah, look, so we're currently working on in an advisory capacity on another gold project that is currently in administration, being Eastern Goldfields. We would say there are probably a couple more projects out there that need to be cleaned up and recapitalised either through some kind of solvent or insolvent process. But overall, the macro backdrop is positive, and I'd say that there are not too many of those projects left that need some kind of cleanup just because the sheer weight of capital that is chasing those opportunities at the moment.
It's KordaMentha's Richard Tucker speaking there with Tara de Landgrafft.